had so much sex in Mexico. Every time I was getting a little crazy, I was like, oh, it's V-vitamin time.
I went to New York to see my boo. Yeah, we had like 5 hours of sex. My pussy I thought it was broken, but then it was unbroken because of V-vitamins, because I was like, I have one more day here. It can't be broken. If you guys haven't tried V-vitamins, you do need to try them. They're for pH balance. It's for smell. It just literally restores the natural balance of your vagina. And it's woman owned. It's Black owned.
You can get a discount when you use GMBC10 at checkout.
My pussy purified.
Get that blessed boric acid and get that purified pussy.
Welcome back to Good Moms Bad Choices. I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, all.
We've made it to Wednesday. Monday sucked, but today's Wednesday. It's Good Moms Wednesday. So it's a good day in the universe.
It is. It is. All of the stars are aligned as always.
How are you?
I'm doing much better. I was struggling this morning. I woke up just, life-in, and I dropped Luna off to school by the hair of my teeth that she was on time. And then I went to my friend's house and I proceeded to cry on the bed because I was like, am I a good mom? I don't know if I went over the spelling words long enough. She was like, are you okay? I was like, no. Then she microdosed me.
Oh.
She gave me a microdose of mushrooms.
You're on mushrooms?
Oh. Yeah, a microdose.
Oh, wow. We should do it. Have we ever done a mushroom episode? Wait,
No,
it was after the mushroom episode that we recorded in Joshua Tree.
We had an episode on mushrooms, and then we recorded an episode. But we can never do that amount of mushrooms and do an episode. It wouldn't make any sense.
No, we would be crying in a corner.
It wouldn't make sense.
I mean, we mushrooms make you cry. Mushrooms are good, but that mushroom trip was intense.
Well, I think there's a misconception because I told Orlando that she microdosed me. He's like, I don't think that's a good idea, and I was like, no, it's better. It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's a light.
When it's light, it helps relieve anxiety, and I'm really sensitive to mushrooms right now. So it did help. And then I hit the indica joint a couple times. And I'm a little bit better. I got 3 hugs. I picked 4 flowers while I waited for you. And then I was like, okay, I could work.
Perfect. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
You are a good mom. You're an excellent mom.
Thank you. It was between microdosing and Lipoderm.
What is it?
I don't know. Somebody told me that they're on some anxiety medicine, and now ever since they said it, I'm like,
it's been popping up. That's what happens. It's like the algorithm. I heard it's the algorithm of life.
No, for real. I'm like, is this a sign from God? Do I need to get on pharmaceuticals? But no, it's
very off brand.
It would be very off brand for me. So I'm just gonna continue on the mushroom and meditation journey, and hopefully it works. How are you?
I'm good. I feel good. I'm sore. I've been working out and shit. I'm good. My eyelash is bothering me. I decided to put eyelashes on. It took about 24 minutes, and I'm allergic to glue, but I was really dedicated.
You did it anyway? You used the glue you're allergic to?
I want to be cute for YouTube. You guys, go look on YouTube. Bitches, get on YouTube right now and look at me. Okay?
We're cute.
Look at me.
We put on makeup
Look at these fucking lashes I put on. They are whimsies. Whatever they're called. Wispies. Demi Wispies, bitch.
Are you okay?
Put these on. I put them on, and my eye is burning a lot. But we're going to act like it's not. It's perfectly fine. I'm just cute, and everything's great.
Okay, well, the shit women do to be cute. Mm-hmm. We're also matching.
Yes, I did not mean to do this. Our guest is also matching with us. We are Destiny's Child.
We are.
And, yeah.
Am I Michelle? Mama Michelle.
You can be whoever you want, baby. You know what? There can be 3 Beyoncés if we wanted to. I'm LaToya.
Okay.
She's really.
I'm taking it back. I'm LaToya. I don't want to be Latavia. I don't want to be Farrah. I don't want to be all them other hoes that they were before.
Kelly. I've always been Kelly.
Kelly. I like Kelly.
Me and Kelly have always had a connection.
She's amazing.
I love Kelly. Yesterday, Erica and I went to the top of a mountain and did a ritual. Because Jessie, our homegirl, told us that's what we needed to do. And so we took a loaf of bread, 7 green apples, and 2 coconuts to the top of a mountain as an offering. And then she told us to crack the coconuts open and pour them all over our body and in our mouth as a clearing. And then, in my head, I was like, perfect, easy. I cut the apples. I cut the bread before we got there. I took a backpack. I took a plate. Then we get to the top of the mountain and we're like pulling out the staff. And then I'm like trying to crack the coconut.
First I start trying to crack the coconut because she's arranging the plate, and I'm like, "Wow, this in Costa Rica. They make this look so much easier. Like, what the fuck?"
I know. I just knew I was just gonna crack it.
She's watching me, and I'm like, and then I like end up hurting myself. Like the coconut's fighting me, and I'm literally taking both my hands and like, nothing's happening. And then I'm like, Mila, try. And then as she's trying, we're both trying to crack this
aggressively trying to crack this coconut on the tree.
Fucking ritual. Finally, I don't know if you guys know this, but coconuts have 3 little secret dots on the back.
I didn't know this till yesterday.
And they're soft. It's like a baby's head. And so I started just poking it with
We found a stick.
I started poking it with a stick, and then I got it through, and then I found another little stick, and I like made it go through. And we finally opened the coconut.
No, we didn't. We just shook.
It was open. It was open.
It didn't crack it open like I had in my mind, but I shook the shit, every piece of juice I could shake out of the coconut into my mouth, into my head. And you know what? It was sticky all day. I fell asleep with that shit. I just washed it off.
Oh wow, no, I had to go home and take that shower. Yeah, it was sticky. It felt like someone came on my eyelids.
Oh my God, it did kind of feel like that.
Yeah, like my eyelids were like stuck open.
Maybe that's why I kind of liked it. It kind of kept it was kind of sweet. Okay.
The ritual. Oh, shout out to Sweet. What is it? What is her Instagram? Sweet Love Sanctuary. Mm-hmm. Make sure you follow Jessie. She actually joined us in Costa Rica, and she is amazing. She's tons of just spiritual lessons and rituals for you guys.
She's like our spiritual mentor, homegirl.
Mm-hmm. We were just inviting in new opportunities and all the things that we are working on to cultivate rapidly.
Exhibitiously.
Exhibition.
I shouldn't try to say words I don't really know how to say. In my mind, it sounded really smooth. Exhibitiously. Okay, well, you know what I mean. Anyway, we have a guest here today.
Yes, hi, ladies.
Hello, we have sex blogger, Sex with Ashley, Ashley Cobb. How are you, dear?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. She's fresh off the plane.
Yes, I'm sleepy. Jet lag is kicking my ass.
Well, we have sativa for you.
Dog weed?
I'm more of an edibles person.
Oh.
I should have brought my edibles.
Yeah, I love edibles. But yeah, I do smoke, yeah.
Oh, you don't?
Maybe we should start asking that in our induction questions. What do you prefer? Wine, smokes, edibles, microdosing? We need to like just...
But that's the mushrooms, though. I've never tried mushrooms and I want to.
You should.
So in comparison to like weed.
They're very... they're plant medicines, but I don't know. I just feel like... They have similar qualities in ways, but I feel like mushrooms kind of really open you up and clear you. Like everything's very bright and vibrant. You feel very one with the earth and with people. I think you see people very clearly. I think you feel energy very clearly. So it's like good to be in a good environment and in a good space. And then it's really hard to fight any of your true emotions. So if you're feeling really good or really like something comes up, you're just going to cry and you can't do anything about it. And you might even be happy, but if you need to cry, it will happen.
So where can I get some while I'm here?
Okay, well,
we got you.
We got you. Don't worry.
Cool. Thanks.
How long are you here for?
I'll leave Monday.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I have a question for you. How did you start into being Sex with Ashley? Because we spoke a little bit before this.
Yes.
And you were telling us about your previous life.
Yes.
Or part of your journey. I won't say previous life because it's part of the journey. And you came from pretty much a religious background in
From down south. You're from North Carolina.
I'm from North Carolina. I grew up in church, very religious household. So I grew up, not having sex, that's abstinence, stuff like that. But so I did I went to college. I didn't have sex to college, and that's really late for a lot of people. So I think I was 19 actually. So 1937. So that's been 20-something years ago. So 19, and then after college, I went back home to where I was from. And then I kind of got back into the routine of what I was raised in, of going to church and, sex is a sin and all this other stuff. So there is this, and I've told this story a couple of times. There is this purity group called Pinky Promise. It's from Heather Lindsay, is a very popular preacher. Well, she was very popular in like 2010 or so. She's in Atlanta, black lady, and she used to have these Pinky Promise groups where it's kind of like a purity group. Women come together and we vow not to have sex until marriage. And I was a leader of one in North Carolina. I was the Pinky Promise leader.
Wow. What a
You went all the way.
What a prestigious title.
Yeah. So like I go from one extreme to the other clearly. So
What's your sign?
Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I was all in. When I'm all in something, I'm all into it. So I was all in, you know, on the internet talking about saving yourself for marriage, all that shit. And then it got to the point I was like, I'm horny. Why am I doing this?
So I was gonna say, what was it? Was there something happened?
No, it was just like
I'm bitches horny. Okay.
Because I was celibate for like 3 years. Okay. And then I was like, why am I doing this now? And I just kind of stopped, and I just didn't go back.
So you just denounced your leadership. You're like,
Pretty much, I was like, well, it was a gradual thing, and I was like, more so, I was seeing different things. Like I remember we would get like text messages weekly, just like reminders, stuff like that. And one of the text messages, this is when Scandal was. I used to love Scandal.
I used to love that show.
And Scandal, you know, Scandal, Fitz, and Olivia, they were like hot and heavy sex scenes all the time, right? And we would get text messages. Oh, are you watching Scandal? You know, be sure to guard what you watch. It'll make you want to have sex. Scandal never made me want to have sex. Like I never
until you sent this text messages, bitch. You want to have
I
sex?
didn't even think about it.
There was literally a text that said, "Don't watch Scandal."
In a roundabout way, yes.
What the fuck?
It was like, you know, guard your what you view,
Your purity.
Yeah, and I can kind of understand, you know, what you take in, you should like guard in just any aspect of life.
You're influenced
right?
by what you consume,
right?
Sure.
So, you know, I was like, well, wait a minute, Scandal doesn't make me want to have sex. You don't make me want to go fuck. I just like the show, and it was like little things like that. I was like, this thing's a little more cultish.
You were like, you are not about to come between me and motherfucking Scandal is what it is.
I was like,
you said what? Like one thing's one thing, but Scandal?
You became Olivia Pope. Like, let me see what these bitches are talking about really over
and then
here.
like it was the whole thing like listening to gospel rap,
Like secular music is a thing.
Yeah, I tried it, and I was
were you living in Atlanta at this time?
No, I was living in North Carolina.
I was gonna say, because in Atlanta, how the fuck you gonna
And
guard yourself? How you gonna protect yourself?
Like I like Rick Ross, right? I like Jay-Z. So it was a couple of things I had to like figure out for myself, and I realized like this is not really what I want to do. So I stopped doing that.
How did you get out? You were a leader.
Did you feel guilty? Did you feel guilt having those feelings? Like I know there's probably shame and guilt to be like to want to shift gears that way, especially when you've been telling yourself you're saving for marriage, and that makes you pure.
Yeah. But then I realized that, you know, because I still believe in God. So I realized that God loves me regardless if I'm having sex or not. And then I was kind of like, okay, well, you know, and then God, if we believe in God, right, and we believe that what He made is good, God made sex, right? We have clitorises, and we have these things that help us, that are designed just for pleasure, right? It's not. I don't believe it's God's design for me to be 40, not married, and not having sex either. Like, some got to give.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious what Heather Lindsay was telling 40-year-old women that still hadn't found their partner, and like,
Is she married?
She is.
Oh,
it must be nice. Yeah. I'm fucking, but you should not.
Yeah, and that too.
And it makes me wonder: are you really getting fucked over there? If you're telling everybody they should not, like,
right.
you're probably not getting that much pleasure.
And people use biblical references like, oh, people in biblical wasn't having sex, but they were also getting married at 14, right? So like, if you had to wait till you were 14, it ain't that hard. But like real life now, people are not getting married at all, or they're 30, or they're 40, or sometimes 50. I just don't believe it's God's design for us to be.
You're literally cutting off a part of just who you are.
Correct.
Essentially, like, not essentially. Period. You're cutting off yourself from yourself. Also, do men do this shit? Do men take pinky promises?
You know, I've heard about this purity shit more than once
with
now.
with
now,
women. I know we had this episode with Evian where she talks about the purity contract. Are boys taking?
Who's the leader of the men purity? The boys'
That's
purity.
a good question.
Who the fuck? Where's the pinky promise for the
That's
niggas?
a good question, because as someone who's grew up in church my whole life, you know, they say it's for everyone. It's inclusive, but it's really not.
Well,
like, I don't see too many purity men's groups, really.
Yeah, because there are none. Because it's a trick. Yeah. I
Purity culture is a scam.
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
And I never understood that about Christianity specifically. I never understood like the idea. I understand that discipline is required in, you know, parts of your life. Mm-hmm. I don't understand withholding parts of withholding yourself from things that bring you pleasure for the sacrifice of acceptance or like the entry into heaven. I don't feel like every time I sat with this, because I've done some religiousness in my day, but like when I was young, but I never understood like, why would God want me to not enjoy certain pleasures of life that if I'm created in his image, and I'm like you said, we're giving these bodies, and we're, you know, like, what, not that we're supposed to be out here just fucking, you know,
Right.
maybe, I don't know if he said all that, but also I don't think he's like, don't do this,
Right.
or else you won't get into heaven. That
Right.
just seems like not the kind of God that they talk about.
And then too, like when P promised, it was also talked about you're not supposed to masturbate either. So now I can't have sex, but now I can't touch myself either. So what am I supposed to do? To sit here?
It's literally cutting
You
off a piece
can't
of yourself.
masturbate?
Yeah, they taught that masturbation was still sin because you were like having unpure thoughts, and it's like the gateway drug.
I can't wait for Heather.
That's a gateway drug.
I can't wait for Heather Lindsay to see our tag on her Instagram. I tagged Heather Lindsay in a
Heather's gonna block
story.
you. She's the queen of blocking.
She can block all she wants, girl. You tripping over there, girl.
Yeah, so it's like the gateway to sex if you're masturbating.
Her sex life is boring.
Probably.
Or watch it be lit as fuck. Watch her be
No,
swinging off the walls.
Listen, there was a whole Twitter thread or Facebook, something about her and her husband, because they also believe oral is not
Girl,
a part of God's design. So there's that.
Well,
too.
God designed this mouth.
Right, like so. How lit can it be if you're not doing
Like, do you think God then gave us sex and then said, you can have sex with your husband, but don't enjoy it too much?
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Don't use that. Like,
Don't do that.
but don't do it. But don't do that. Like, God is like, it's lit, bitch. I gave you all this shit. Use all the moves.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I just
Yeah.
had a visual of their sex life, and it went from
Real
like
bland.
it's lit to just
Real bland.
like just being like, "Whew, that was crazy."
No, well, I think that's the thing with religion. I think that's my biggest thing is like the idea that withholding something, or how do you say, like suppressing parts of yourself is holy or pure, is really, that is what is scary to me. When you suppress parts of yourself, what happens to those parts that you cut off? Weird shit happens. That's where the scandals come in.
Right.
And the niggas be doing some sneaky shit and doing some weird shit, and then it comes out and they've been doing some real freaky shit, and everybody's like,
Because you've been suppressing.
Because
Yeah.
like, so like now in my real life now, like, so I'm a sex advice columnist, so people write in, and so one of the women who wrote in actually last week, anyway, she was talking about, she too was part of Pink Promise or Beauty Culture, and she was trying to figure out like, okay, what I do now, because I haven't had sex in years, and that leads to dysfunction because you don't know how your body is so used to not performing. Now you're 35, 40, and you have no idea what to do. Right?
You're just dormant.
Right. You don't know how to enjoy it. You're in your head. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't know what to do. She was kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this now.
And this culture, like promoting it to women and not to men, it kind of delivers this message that women are just to be used for the pleasure and not to experience it. Mm-hmm. Where men should be able to use you, as a wife for their pleasure. It kind of like, without it being said, if men don't have these rules around their bodies, but women do, and then you're supposed to find union in a man that's safe, and you don't even know how to find your pleasure or what that looks like, it kind of gives permission for a man to just jack off with you.
Yes. I mean, and honestly, that's what a lot of men do anyway.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them don't really care really about our pleasure and how to please us. We're just a wet hole.
Ew.
Oh no.
I don't like that. Makes me sound like a mop.
Yeah. Whatever works. I'm in the fucking thing.
So now, so tell us about how your journey shifted from being the leader of the Pinky Promise group to Sex with Ashley.
So originally, I have a degree in public health. So originally I wanted to be a public health educator at a health department. That's why I went to school. That's what I wanted to do. Recession, blah, blah, I couldn't find a job. So I created a blog at the time, which was called Sex with Ashley. I was 30 at the time. I was trying to kind of like discover my own, sexual journey. And then I was wanting to pass out information to other Black women who look like me. Because in the sex blogging world, they're all white. Mm-hmm. So there's not too many Black women who are like telling their stories or writing their stories. So that's pretty much how I got started. And that was in 2015.
Wow.
And then it just kind of gradually grew into.
Well, congratulations, girl! You're doing it.
Well,
You on TV and shit.
I
You
know.
know, like that's a big deal, and like that does wonders. Like it does so much for Black women, because that's another thing. Like those spaces are mostly filled with white women because or white people, because A, it's a white world, but like B, I don't think Black women have been real, like even us, it's just like so crazy that you're talking about sex, you know, publicly, and we haven't been given the space. But I wonder if that's like low key religiously influenced, because I feel like Black people are kind of,
I think so too.
religiously
I think
influenced.
culturally we're religion influenced.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend, like even like going to sex clubs. You go to sex clubs, it's so different. Because at a sex club, everyone's there to have sex, right? But you observe the white people, they're so free and open. Right, and they're just, you know, whatever. The Black people, we're still reserved. We have them closed.
Even at the sex party.
Even at the sex party.
Like they're curious, but they ain't gonna do all
Right,
that.
we ain't doing all that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
got lingerie on, we're covered. Like, we're not doing too much.
The white people frolicking around naked.
It's all hanging out. So even with that, I think culturally we're just different. I think they are just culturally they talk about sex more and they're more open with it. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll tell you why. Slavery.
There's been a lot less repercussions for
True.
them talking about
That's
it.
true.
I mean, let's be honest. We see it every day. I mean, even in our industry, like the white women that talk about sex are getting paid more.
They get TV shows.
They get
TV
$60
shows.
million.
They get rewarded for
They
it.
get rewarded
You know what I
for it.
mean? And for us, it's like, oh my God. And
I don't know if we can endorse that. It's a little risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. That's really facts.
but I think because we've been to some sex clubs in New York, and I've only actually ever been to like a Black and brown sex club, so I don't really know.
Really?
I don't really know.
I didn't realize that. They've never been to like, or just.
I've never been to like
So
a white
where
one,
is-
or
all
not a white one, but like
all the sex
all
clubs-
people's one, all persons one,
All the sex clubs I go to are they're
all inclusive.
Yeah, like I have not. I've been to a white club that had like a black night,
Yeah.
but I haven't been to like a brown. So where is that at?
In Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go. What's the name of that?
Shout out to Susia.
Yeah, Susia.
Okay, cool.
And so there it was, everyone felt safe, everyone felt comfortable because everyone saw people that looked like them there.
Right.
So I think that people our people need a lot of permission.
We do.
When it comes to that. I think they need to see it. They need to see it first, and then
they
be
do.
like, okay, I can do that.
Because I take men that I see, friends, whomever that I, whatever, to the sex club. Because a lot of the black men that I know haven't really dealt in those waters yet. They hear about it, they're curious, but like, I don't know. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I go to sex clubs. Well, I used to go prior to pandemic pretty regularly. So like, I'm like, you want to go? They're like, sure. So they'll go and they'll see what it's like. Because, they're like, oh, what I'm supposed to do. Just go.
Yeah, you're
just
gonna do
go and
nothing.
see, and you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But once they get there, like, okay, that's not that bad, right? So I think a lot of
Not bad. Not that bad.
but they have these preconceived notions of what goes on at these clubs.
I know.
So it's
I know. I just think it's funny that like in any way like consensual sex would be deemed bad.
Well, it's just different. People are not used to it.
not-
So it's
yeah.
like, there's this shock factor. But I found that going to like sex parties are, I don't know, more welcoming, and like I have less anxiety. I feel like people are more friendly. People are just like, hey, deep hugs, long stares. It feels very spiritual and hippie to go to the, like, it doesn't feel like pressure. It just feels like liberation in club form.
So you prefer parties versus clubs?
I guess what's the difference? Like a establishment, like a brick and mortar versus like a
I feel
house?
like a club is like anyone can come. Anybody
Yeah.
can come. It's a free for
Yeah,
all.
parties more intimate.
I feel like they're open. There's no,
No.
the door doesn't close.
Well, generally in my experience, all sex clubs are there's men have to come with women, or they have to pay a very high ticket. The
Correct.
clubs that I've been to are membership only.
Yeah.
So you have to buy into the membership in order for entry, because then it eliminates just any schmegula. I mean, not that I guess money, the amount of money you're willing to spend to invest in the space. So that's been my experience, that it's always kind of a high ticket, because that's how it eliminates a bunch of creeps, or it's word of mouth. Us fucking shouted it out on the podcast. I don't know if we're supposed to do that, but like, I think it's more exclusive in the way it's word of mouth, or you have to, other ones where like you have to know someone who's invited you in order to have entry.
Yeah.
Where you be going, trapeze?
I've been trapeze once.
Oh, okay.
Since I've been trapeze once since I've been there. It's okay. It's not as I don't think it's worth the hype.
Okay. I went years ago when I lived in Atlanta. That's a
Do
big.
you like it?
Back in the day, yeah. That was literally like 10 years ago.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool then. There were some all inclusive nights, and there were some more like black nights.
I went on Black Night in trapeze. And so, I mean, it was a lot of black people there, so that was really impressive. But it was just like, when I go to sex clubs, I go for the things to do there, like your equipment, your theme rooms, right? That's the point of me going. I can fuck on my house, on the bed at my house.
That's the thing with clubs, too. They're generally, like, themed rooms.
Yes.
So you can kind of, like, fulfill fantasies.
Yes.
I've only been, I have a faint memory. I have been to a couple like this, but there are equipment and things that, like, make it actually, like, a sex space, which you can't get at home. You can't just invite niggas at your house and be like, that's fuck. But at the club, there's like, I've been to one, there was like a teacher looking scene. I've been one that had like, looked like a pool table scene. I've seen looked like kind of like just a dark room. You can't see shit. People are just grabbing you. There's just all these different type of like,
And that's part of the fun. So that's one thing I didn't like about trapeze. You just had beds and there was no really theme. I was like, oh, this is like
boring. Yeah,
it's fuck. So
I miss sex clubs.
Our deep dive into sex clubs. There's also ones with breakfast. They have
they have great buffets.
They have buffets. They have porn on the TVs. They have stripper
sex
poles.
clubs are like strip clubs. They have the best food.
They do. That's true. Probably in Atlanta more than anywhere, but.
Yeah, they have good food there.
I have a question. As far as, being a sex blogger, people probably assume that your sex life is, lit. I mean, as we're sitting here talking about sex clubs, which most people I'm listening probably have not gone to. Do you think that's a misconception of, people in this space of sex educators, sex bloggers, you?
Yeah.
Per se?
I think people assume that my life is like a porno, and it's not. I mean, I think I do things that are outside the norm of everyday people. I guess like, okay, sex clubs, right? But I don't do anything I don't deem as that crazy. It's very normal. I like regular vanilla sex most days.
Not most days.
Most days, missionary works. I don't do anything out the norm typically. I just, every once in a while, I'm into certain things. Let's try that. But I don't have to do it every day. I think people assume because I do this, I have to do it every day, and I don't.
Do you date outside your race?
Would I?
Do you?
No.
Would you?
It's getting to the point now that the coloreds are making me have to try other things.
Do you think? Because I asked you this because talking about just Black people and our historically our position on sex and religion and you being a sex blogger, us being women who talk about sex for a living as well. I find that white men are more open to dating a woman in this space versus maybe a Black man.
Correct. That is an interesting observation.
And that is my struggle.
Wifing a woman.
Wifing.
Yeah.
The wifing.
They'll sex you.
They'll sex the fuck out of you.
But they won't, and that has been like my struggle. And I've said this on a couple of occasions. I was like, I believe that if I was not doing what I was doing, I'd probably be married or something by now. But because I'm this public figure, I talk about sex on the internet, right? Men have a hard time with that. I have my male friends, these are male friends that I know, talk to all the time. They swear that the only way I'm going to find love with a Black man is if he's bisexual.
Oh my God, a Black man told me that recently too. Like, a Black man's not checking for you is what they told me.
And I was like,
why does it be bisexual?
Because
why does it be like, oh wait, why does this be kind of
what kind of Black is that? Like,
they said this and listen, no shade to bisexual Black men, but this is what my heterosexual male friends tell me. They was like, oh, the only person that's going to want to be with you, like in terms of like a marriage type thing, is going to be a bisexual Black man because they will be willing to be down with things I'm down with.
I think that because you have to be open to that they're bisexual, so they have to be open that you talk about sex. You know what? This conversation irritates me because
me too.
I'm really over Black men telling us what we're not going to get and what we don't deserve based on their limited perspective of us and of life and of other Black men. And I don't believe that. And I think it's very like, it's detrimental to us. And I think I experienced this too. Like, it makes you question your worth.
It does.
As an educated Black free thinking woman, like, damn, if my heterosexual male friend, homie, is telling me this, then
More than one.
Because girl, I got this speech too. I don't even know if it was because I talk about sex. He was just like, no, like, you're not, if you're looking for a husband, you're not gonna find one that's Black, basically. Which is like, I just feel like, who the fuck do you think you are telling me who I'm not gonna find because you speak for all Black men, like,
Apparently.
ever in the world? I'm just like, and then even to categorize who is going to be accepting of you as this person only, I think it's disrespectful, and I think it's kind of a reflection of how Black men need to shift in how they show up for us.
And it makes it so hard, like, for me, because I told my friend this, who told me this, one of the ones told me this. I was like, you know what? It kind of, like, saddens me. 'Cause I'm like, well, should I even try to date at this point? Because I'm 37. I would like to be able to date, get married, kids, and maybe not. But I would like to at least have a loving relationship. But when my friends who tell me, Ashley, you only gonna have a date a bisexual man. Nothing's wrong with dating bisexual men, but why do I have to only do that? Why can't you as a heterosexual man be like, you know what? I think that you are dope, or I think you're valuable enough to want to be with you. Because people say, one of my friends was like, well, because on Instagram your name is Sex with Ashley, and people automatically assume that, I guess, like, I'm out there or something. Well, that's your assumption. You didn't even ask any questions.
I'm sure Sex with Emily is doing just fine over there.
I think Sex with Emily is having a lot of sex.
Sex with Emily's doing great. Is she married? She might be married already.
Sex with Dr. Jess, she does good. Oh, she's married. Oh, is she married? I think she's married.
All the sexes with that are not Black are
fine.
dating and getting wifed.
Yeah, it scares me. It scares me that Black women are expanding so quickly, and like our perspectives and our like our thinking and like our healing, and the Black men are not keeping up, and it scares me because the truth of the matter is, like, I really don't have the capacity ever to be anything other than who I am. Right. And I've already chosen like this path, and so I mean, shit, at this point whatever's on the internet is up on there. Like, right. Even if I was born again Christian tomorrow, like, when we swipe the internet, we're gonna find some shit somewhere, right. But it's just like, damn, like, damn, like, what about that I'm smart? Like, what about,
like, I guess I could do a rebrand. Speaking of rebrands, have y'all seen Corinne Steffens' new rebrand?
Oh my god, yes.
So,
Elizabeth?
Yes.
I was looking at it, I was like, first of all, this is my idol in the ninth grade, so I know this is this bitch. I love this bitch. And I was like, this is smart. I like it. I'm intrigued.
It is.
Again, you know what? One thing about, she can come back and come back and come back and be whoever the fuck she wants to be every time. And I fuck with
I'm
that.
here for it.
She went, but you saw, she was like, fuck this. I'm about to go fuck with Bill Maher. He'll understand me.
Well, I heard he's a little undercover racist. I do love Bill Maher, but I heard he was a little weird. But I don't know. We actually already slid into her DMs. I saw Elizabeth. I was like, what's up? Are you coming on the show? So hopefully.
I'm going to be writing about her next week for Gossip Gasms, because I was like, oh, love it.
I do. And she's not there's no mention of the previous life of that person.
No, she's a speaker.
Yeah.
Public speaker. But like, is that because she had to do that? Because like she can't navigate in the world as a Black woman who's talked about sex, who's pioneered almost this space in ways. And like, is she finally just like, fuck it.
I'm gonna do this new thing.
I don't want a man who that, like, how the public sees me is going to be, you're easily moved by that. Like, that to me, you're weak. If someone's perspective of me, if you know me personally and someone else's perspective, or there may be perspective of me, makes you not want to fuck with me because for fear of whatever the fuck your fear is, I already know you're not my person. Like, I'm cool with, like, actually move all the, like, easily intimidated, scared men who need, like, the girl next door out of my fucking way, because we're not going to vibe. And eventually, like, I'm going to feel bad, you're going to feel bad. And I just think, where are the real niggas at?
They're extinct. They are.
Fuck.
They're endangered species.
They are. And
Well, I think that I think there's men doing the work, but there's certain work that they don't feel like they have to do or they don't want to do. And this category is one of them.
And thanks to
They're
people
good.
like
They're good with how they feel about how they want their wife to be. Like that's not. I feel like that's like there's work that they're doing, but this category is like I don't know. It's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a while. It might never happen. And no, go ahead.
And I think a lot of it has to do with this whole new like Kevin Samuels era that
I'm gonna throw up.
that we're in and
High priced, whatever the fuck.
high value,
High value men.
Well, now every man think they're high value.
I'm like, nigga, you ain't high value. I just saw you up the street.
You're not high value.
Ooh, if Kevin look at us and be like, oof, 1 cent.
Well, I don't know. I have a theory about Kevin. I'm not going to share because I don't.
I'm pretty sure no one thinks he's not gay too.
Yeah,
I think all the way. Yes, you're not. It's the only theory.
I don't think he likes women at all.
He's undercover.
Also, what was I going to say? Fuck. I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in this space that I'm in, and this has been something that's been coming up for a while now for me, feeling like really empowered in the space that I'm in and like the work that I'm doing and like the just like the support that we get from the community and I'm sure just like you, like, yeah, keep going. Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to trailblaze this space. And then I'm like, how the fuck, no one wants to just like wife me. No one's trying to. Do you see?
But that's the thing. What's this thing like? I'll fuck you, but I won't wife you. What does that say about you?
But so I had this conversation with my friend, and she was like, "Well, it's true. It's true." She's in the space as well, and she was like, "It's true." She's like, you know. We carry this heavy burden. Like we want to do the work. We want to like change the narrative. And as a result, there's sacrifices to be made. And some of those sacrifices are marriage. Some of those sacrifices are maybe the men that would be perfect for us had we not chosen this career. Maybe the sacrifices are, I don't know. There's just so many different sacrifices.
It's kind of like the Jesus thing. You want me to cut off a part of myself to appease to your liking. It's like the patriarchy in different forms.
I mean, I guess we could like change careers, but do we really want to do that?
Even this guy that I've been hanging out with, his family's Jehovah's Witness, and he's not, and he's like so like he's not at all. But I was literally telling him about this. I was like, I had this conversation, and I just been feeling like, am I not gonna find a person? He's like a friend of mine, and we have sex. And I was like, am I not gonna find like my husband because of the work that I do? Like, I told him that I had this conversation with my mom, and she basically said that like, yeah, men don't want to bring home women that are like sexually liberated on the internet, whether or not they know, like, because on the internet they get a small dose of who you are. They don't really get to know the Erica that is intelligent, a nurturer. They get the intelligence, but a nurturer and all these other things that are the makings of you. They get these clips.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I know, because my mom, she's Jehovah's Witness. And I was like, oh, your mom would not fuck with me. She was like, yeah. And I was like, so nigga, what are we doing? Because like, you ain't gonna ever bring me home to your mother. Like,
No.
what the fuck is this?
And that's true.
You don't want to go to that mom's.
I was just like, well, it was fine because we're casual, we're friends. But I really thought like, that's so interesting that you're sitting here fucking me.
They'll fuck you.
And
They'll do that all day long.
And I don't know. I mean, our relationship is friendship at its core, and I really do enjoy it. And whether I meet his mom or not is not really a big deal to me. But I just thought it was so interesting that, like, yeah, it's playing into that idea of, like, yeah, men will sleep with you, and they'll have conversations with you, and we'll have deep conversations, and they will like you, and they'll tell you how smart you are, and they'll do all the things except the one thing. And I was like, so am I going to just, like, am I going to have to marry a white man?
No, you're going to have to marry a man who has a mom who was a wild woman, who was a trailblazer and taught him that, like, the women show up different ways. And there's not that many of them, but I know they exist.
Like, where they at?
But also, like,
Not in Atlanta.
But will I like that man? Like,
what is that? What do you mean?
I just mean, like, sometimes not everything adds up. Like,
no.
The trailblazer.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes those...
The man who accepts you may not like, you're saying? Like,
I'm just saying, like, his mom is all these things, and he's... Yes, like...
That's what he's saying.
Because I feel like I've met that man, too. I've met that man that accepts me, and then there's things there. So
I mean, I think it's just we'd have to wait for our person overall. Like, it's a God thing. Like whomever the universe brings to us will come at the right time.
But here's the thing too with that. But do I have to be 60 for them to come? Like, how old do I have to wait?
I'm gonna be like,
maybe I should do a test. Like, maybe I should stop talking about sex for like 365 days.
block like all like we're gonna do all kosher.
I'm gonna be Elizabeth. Okay. We're gonna do a rebranding of Good Moms for 365. We're gonna be a mom brand.
Bitch, we couldn't
Mommy
do it
brand.
if we tried.
And you will probably get
and we're gonna come back. We're gonna have husbands. Then we're gonna go crazy again.
Got him. Anyway, got you. His Van made a post recently that was like really interesting. It was very like direct and harsh. I couldn't find it last time I looked, but it was like, men kill me. Like, do you know your mom sucked dick?
Yeah,
and got fucked for you to get here? And I was like, duh. Like, niggas be like, oh no, because my mama, like, nigga, your mama got fucked for you to get here. Like, let's not forget mom sucked dick too.
Right.
Not, specifically yours, bro. Like, I don't know. I think it's detrimental to remove. I say this all the time. I'll say it again. I think it's detrimental to try and remove sexuality and sensuality from the divine feminine, because that's a part of our existence. And when you do that, you have boys/men who grow up into a world thinking they're supposed to find fucking the Virgin Mary, and it doesn't exist.
It does not exist. Men want these women. They want women who they don't want virgins per se, but they want you to be a virgin. Like, they don't want a literal virgin. They want you to know something about sex, but they don't know.
They want you to pretend,
but not know too much. You can't know too much. They don't want to think that you're out there. Whatever the fuck that means.
Right. So that's what we were talking about today. We wanted to talk about misconceptions of the free/wild woman. What are some misconceptions of the free woman? Because I feel like you said, like, men don't think that we are nurturers, that we're domesticated, and that we want to be married, that we want to be held down. And I think that is such a misconception. I'm such a nurturer, and I'm such a mother, and I'm such a, like, I'll make dinner. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not cooking, but go ahead.
I mean, whatever. Who gives a fuck about being domesticated? First of all, that's like for a dog, but I feel like too, I've come encounter with like other people specifically, like I've met in this space, who I feel like pressure. Like, am I supposed to be kinky? Like, I don't kink up every night. Like, can we just fuck regular? Can you calm down? What do you mean you want to try something new? We just had sex 3 times. Like, relax. We don't need to try something new. We just started having sex. This is new.
Right.
Like, somebody told me that. Shout out to Orlando. I'm like,
someone, meaning ORLA.
at WH. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, yo, even when I first started fucking with him, I was like, I felt a lot of pressure. Like, do you think I'm freaky because I have a podcast? I talk about sex. I know you do, but you need to relax. And I was like, am I not freaky? Fuck, this is a lot of pressure. Even now, like, I'm less shy. We're like closer. So I'll be like, you need to fucking chill. Like, we don't live in the same city. We need to like have sex 4 times regular before you ask me anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like all these, like, just because we're open and we talk about certain things and we're curious, because that's really what it is, curious to weigh out different options of what pleasure looks like for us, that suddenly we're just like, ooh, you got spanked on the internet, you had flame to your back by a man. Like, it's just this.
I think also men are intimidated. I think that they get intimidated and they think that like they can't live up to whatever sex we desire.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, and that like because we are very vocal about our needs on the internet, they're like, oh, what if I can't fulfill that? And also having a podcast and a platform, people think you're going to get talked about.
Yes.
You might.
You don't know how many times men have asked me, am I going to write about me in your blog?
Oh my God,
me too.
I don't talk about men in my blog. Clearly you haven't read it. I don't talk about men that I fuck in my blog. So no. But they really do ask me that. Are you going to talk about me? No.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't good. It wasn't special enough. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that all those things that you listed are the misconceptions. I mean, yeah, I think that there's that. I think that that we sleep around.
Mm-hmm. It's a big one.
That anyone has access to us.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the things I would say.
Okay. Do you think that with us talking about the misconceptions of free women, do you guys? I know I do. Do you guys have any desires for your partners that may actually be like could you date yourself? If you had a man, for instance,
Yes.
Orlando is on OnlyFans.
Okay.
He's doing porn. Okay. Full blown porn nigga over there, you know? And it's like I had to ask myself, this is like this is my partner and this could, you know, go so many ways, but like can I sit with this forever? Like if this is a long-term thing, this is fine with me, you know? And I had to really like consider, I'm like, damn, I can't be a hypocrite. You know, like if you accept me, I gotta accept you too. So like, are you guys like, obviously we all have boundaries, you know, we don't have, just because we do certain things or we're free women, we don't have to accept everything that comes with people. But the things that we're asking for, do you think that you could handle?
I actually prefer to date someone who's not in the sex world per se. Like I don't want to date a dom or anything like that.
Why?
I just don't. Like because doms typically are engaged with other people, and I just don't want to share.
Are you monogamous?
Not really, but I don't want people to share my man, right? That know me, like, oh, that's sex with Ashley's man.
Oh, right.
I don't want that.
I'm happy you said that. Like for people to know what's going on in your world.
Now,
is
right now, if it was a thing where like nobody knew who I was, maybe a little different. I just don't want people to be like, "Oh, I fuck sex with Ashley's dude too."
Yeah,
like,
it's something about like the ability to be
like
pinpoint.
Yeah, that's your man. No, so but I do like men who are free and want to explore. Like I like men who are open to certain things. Like I said, I'm not particularly monogamish. But like I want somebody who's open. So if you're a person who just want to do regular sex all the time, like don't want to try nothing, this not gonna work.
I go back and forth with this.
I would date somebody, maybe, I don't know if I would date a podcaster. I don't know. I prefer someone that understands my life, for sure. I would prefer someone who is open to talking about sex, because that in turn helps our relationship. If you do it all the time, especially as a man, I feel like it makes it a lot easier in the relationship. These are all assumptions because I haven't experienced this.
It's true.
But do I want my man talking about his sex life on the internet? As long as it's, I don't really mind it. As long as like I'm not hearing some shit for the first time on the podcast, which I've been guilty of. I've had to learn my lessons in that as well.
Same.
Then Same. No. I mean, I couldn't be upset. Now, are there other qualities about myself that I would date? No, I don't want to date me. I need someone who's like a lot more aloof than me. Like I need someone who's a little lighter, who's like more funny. Like I'm funny bitch, but I'm like I'm like a serious funny bitch. Okay. And I need a nigga that's goofy. Like those are the kind of men that I like. And not light skin. Specifically.
You know, like at all? Look at nigga you trying to see tonight is light skin. You be so full of shit, bitches.
But I'm not seeing like
the
men that I like dark skinned men. Period.
Yeah. I like a light skinned man with a beard, but I also like just fine men. I like people and I like fine men. Yeah. I preferably like a man.
I don't like people.
I like men who are open. Yeah. And open-minded and again, like, are curious about trying new stuff, too. And, like, I tried to date a nigga who was so fucking vanilla and was over 40. And I was like, how have you lived your whole life with this big-ass dick being vanilla as hell in the bed? This is the worst. And he was very in his head about thinking that I was so sexually, experienced, which I am, that he couldn't, like, live up to these standards. And
was he wrong?
He couldn't. He didn't have the tools. But if he wasn't so in his head, maybe try. Like I don't think he was sexual enough, and I don't think he was in touch with his sexuality at all. I think he had been so guarded, and to me, like sex is important to me. Pleasure is important to me, and I like to like. That's a part of intimacy that I enjoy, like learning and laughing in the bedroom, and like not that there has to be pressure, but if it's something that you're over 40 and you haven't poured into at all, you haven't tapped into it, you haven't even scratched the surface because you just don't care, you'd rather hike. Yeah, no, that's probably not compatible in that way.
Right. Cause I had a dude a couple years ago. He was 40-ish something. But he was very vanilla. We just gonna do regular sex, penis vagina sex. That's it. That's all he would do. And he was not interested in doing anything else. Like I was like, "Are you want to try this?" Nah, I'm good. He just was strictly just we're gonna do this right here. What I've been doing for the last 30 years. I ain't trying to announce this works for all the other bitches. So why don't it work
For you, right?
Yeah. So nah.
Oh, to be a trailblazer.
It's a lonely, lonely life.
It's a lonely path.
Once there were 3 young ladies, but now they're old.
Yes.
They're old and together and dickless.
Yes.
Because the men could not handle their trailblazers. They've
Spinsters.
trailed the way, but they're alone.
But they're alone on my trail.
They're in the forest, tucked behind the trees, making tinctures,
Spinster.
masturbating.
Ew, God. Well, sex with Ashley.
Yes.
I have some questions for you from our listeners.
Okay.
So we have one young lady who's written in to the show, and she wants to know, is it natural to go through waves of feeling hypersexual and non-sexual, or should it be balanced?
It's natural. Because I go through that. Like, I went through this whole, not too long ago, this whole phase of, I wasn't even, like, remotely interested in having sex. I don't know if it was, like, seasonal or what, but I was like, I'm good. I didn't even want to masturbate. Like, I'm good. I don't want to. It's natural. I think it's hormonal sometimes with us. Sometimes it can be seasonal, but it's natural. I think people feel like you're supposed to be, like, horny all the time. And
I feel the same way. I've definitely had moments where literally I felt like I was in heat, and I was just like, it was nuts. And then there's moments where I'm like, I'd be like, I should masturbate, and then I just forget. I'm like, I don't feel like it. Or like, I know that I can have sex, but I'll go through like it sometimes will be months where I don't really feel like it. I think that happened more so though after I started abstaining from sex, and I just got used to it, and then started having sex again, and then it took me a second to kind of get back into like the mindset of like my body wants to have sex.
Yeah, because like once you like, for me, like I'm not in a relationship, so honestly, to be honest, I have bursts of when I have like sex frequently. Like if I'm dating someone, of course we have sex regularly for a couple months. Then I'll be single again for God knows how long. So I'm used to. I can go probably a year or two probably, and just masturbate and just be fine. But because I've been doing it for so long, right?
Speaking of masturbation, I have a question for you. What? If you use a vibrator exclusively, can you break your clit?
Break it? No.
Like, can you like become desensitized?
Yes.
And does it last forever? Can you get it back?
Yes. So what happens is when you use a vibrator, like, so I use like a wand all the time. That's my vibrator of choice. So my body and my brain are used to that sensation, right? 'Cause that's what I use all the time because I ain't got no man. So when I get a man, right, it's going to be harder for him to make me come because I'm used to that wand heads, and we humans can't duplicate that.
Do you think the wand can like fuck your clit up?
It ain't fucked up mine.
Wait, what do you mean by
like
the wand?
beat it up? Like beat it up
It don't
too
fuck
much?
up mine. I use it all the time. You just use like some right lube, you fine.
Wait, what's the wand?
It's
Like
just
the
it's,
wand.
Oh, that's a lot. Oh, but you're putting it on your clit, like
Yeah.
it's like penis phallic shaped.
No, the wand is like, let me tell you a picture. Like the wand, like on Sex and the City. You remember the wand?
It's just like that. Like a,
That makes
like a
sense.
vibrator. It's a vibrator.
Okay.
You can put it in you.
Okay, you can put it in you, but you mostly just
But
okay,
yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Well, I use
wand.
the one you can't put in you. So like,
Oh,
'cause
wand.
I have several different wands. So like this one.
Oh, the wand, the back massager.
Yeah, the back massager.
the
So
back
I have
the
massager.
microphone.
yes, the microphone.
The
So I
microphone.
have 3. I have one you plug in, like this size. I
You-
have
I used
one
to
you
have
don't
that
plug
one.
in. I
It
have
was
one that's
actually
kind of
back
like a kind of miniature one. I have several ones. Wands have to go 2 toy. But anyway, so I use it all the time with right lube. It works, but my body's used to me using a wand, and so like when I get a partner, I'm probably going. I know I'm going to have to not masturbate with the wand for a while and get my body used to a human touch. So that's all you have to do.
Yeah, I think I need to chill off the vibrators.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I was like, Am I like desensitizing my pussy? Like if I have sex, like I was having sex and I was rubbing my clit and I was like, this would be so much better with a vibrator. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, this is great, but like
I've used a vibrator during sex.
Of course, so have I, but I don't want to have to every time. Like that, you know, like
it's gonna be doing it. So like, let me help you out.
I know, but like sometimes you just want to have it, you know. Sometimes you want to have some vanilla bomb ass sex.
That's true.
You know, and I'm like, I don't want to damage my clitoris because I'm a vibrating kind of bitch.
Really? You know what? Like, I like to hump things, and also like if I put the vibrator on for like 30 seconds, it's gonna be over. I can come really quickly. Maybe I need to work on that. That's why I need to dive into my tantra.
You have to breathe through it. You have to tease yourself. You have to make it work for you. You can't just go.
And you can put it like
unless that's other places. I do that too.
Other places on your vulva. You don't have to just put. You can like try the clitoris and move it down and go back up in circles.
Yeah.
Put your nipples.
I don't know. I just rather a man. But also, wait. Okay, so I have a discovery. I'm so excited.
I know what you're gonna say.
No, like I finally invested in the rose that everybody's talking about on the internet. I know I'm late as fuck to the game, but I ordered it from Taste Vitamin. This is not an ad. I specifically, what the fuck?
You liked it?
What the fuck?
Okay.
That motherfucker there, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, use it one time.
Is that your first suction toy? Excuse me.
No, but that shit, because it vibrates and it's sections and it's small. I don't know. You could like sit on top of it. I was like, this is dangerous.
She texted me. She said, bitch. Because actually I got one and she was mad. She was so pissed that I got it. She got another vibrator from this brand.
Okay.
And she was like, where the fuck is my rose? She even emailed the brand and was like, so I saw that Erica got the rose.
And I didn't.
And literally the subject line was, where is my rose? That was the subject line to the brand. And I was like, wow, lucky this brand is a friend of ours. Right. This is psycho.
Did I really make the subject?
Yes, it was. Because I was like, this bitch is crazy. And she was like, where is my rose? Question mark eyes. Emoji eyes. Hey, so, and then she wrote the message and they were like,
we did it on purpose.
We did it on purpose. We wanted you each to have a different one. And obviously they love me more because they sent me the rose.
I was like, wow, talk about favoritism. It's cool. I ordered it.
Did you like your rose?
Yes, I did. I like all those suction toys.
She was like, sorry, I used it already. I'd let you have it. I was like...
I remember when the first womanizer came out. That was like, then I tried that. That was a game changer for me. I was like what the fuck is this?
I think womanizer. Other suction toys, womanizer.
Sometimes it takes a little adjusting. You gotta. Everyone's clit is different. Yeah. It's behind different things. You gotta adjust shit. And but there's specific toys I feel like that really like can kind of curate to like the all inclusive body.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard to have one toy for all women.
Yeah, it is.
It really is impossible.
Yeah.
It's kind of like trying to find your like makeup shade.
Right.
And like me, like us trying to find the same shade. Right. Like,
impossible.
No, bitch. No, you need another toy.
Yes. It doesn't work.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my question.
Okay.
We have a few more.
Okay.
So, okay. Wait, where did the question go? Oh, can y'all have her talk about men getting over their fear of anal play? How does a man get over his fear of anal play?
Breathe.
You're asking a bunch of women this question.
Is he a black man?
I know this girl, so I'm gonna assume yes.
Black man. Black men typically either fall into the category of hell no and maybe. So if he's like a strictly hell no, I just don't even bother, because something that I'm strictly against, I don't want you to try to coerce me to do it. So if he's like, nah, I'm good, then just leave me be.
True.
But if he's like, maybe, right? So then you can work your way up, like doing like the, working with perineum, using like a vibrator on like the anus, stuff like that. We can do stuff that's outplay without sticking our fingers and stuff in. See if he likes that first, and then you can work your way into sticking things in there. You'd be surprised. I know men who like their ass licked. You'd be surprised what men like to do.
I think start licking the balls a lot. Start
there.
Like, a lot
deeper.
Start there. Like maybe like take a few sessions. Depends.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna invest in this man,
Yeah, if he's like a long-term man. But to do a couple jokes like, "Are you gonna let me?" No, I'm just kidding.
yeah,
Little ass smacking around the house.
But some people really.
I don't know.
I like to smack butts.
I don't know, like
I love
ass
butt
smacking. I don't know if that's a necessary tip.
I love it. It gets you used to it. I'm in if coming in.
I guess.
It
I
is.
just feel like black men. I don't know. I mean, I guess some men will be cool with it.
So it just kind of depends on the man. You have to know what man you have, and then you'd be surprised. Honestly, some men, I think it's at the level of do they trust you? One,
Trust.
are they comfortable with you? Do they feel like, oh, we're gonna try this and you're gonna tell your friends? They have to be able to trust you that okay, I'm gonna do this and it's not gonna be around town that I'll let you play in my ass. This thing too.
You're definitely gonna tell your friends.
But you'd be surprised. Be careful what you ask for, girl, because I play with a few niggas that ask for the first time, and they are crackheads.
Yeah.
they don't know what to do. And they're like, oh my God, you make me feel so open and comfortable. I can't tell anybody else. Can I come over? I'm like, no, nigga.
No.
Now I'm
Find
busy.
somebody
I don't
else.
feel like that right now. Get
Like,
outta
leave me
here.
alone. Ask somebody else.
What? So many of these questions are about booty play. Why do bitches are just dying to play with men's booties these
Apparently.
days? Like just begging for it.
Pegging is like a trending topic for the last
Is
couple
it because
years.
women are feeling really empowered? They're just ready to just fully step into their dom role? Like,
They're getting their energetic penises. It could be true.
Maybe.
this is a question that is it gay if a man likes his ass? Like, no.
No.
Or fingered? No. Or wants, or wants a woman to be, or wants to be a woman's slave?
No.
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 Those are all kinks and things of pleasure. My husband hasn't made me come in months. I ask him to go down on me, and he laughs. What the
She
fuck?
said he laughs.
He laughs. Divorce.
I would order the rose and stare him in the eye while you play with it and just like take your time and then come really hard in front of him and look super happy after and just get up.
You think because then he'll be like, I want to do that?
Maybe his testosterone will be like jealousy and he'll try to like
He'll be like,
ravish
fuck
her.
that toy.
So I wonder.
Man, I'm not done.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's more. Okay, continue.
My husband hasn't made me come in months. I ask him to go down on me, and he laughs. Meanwhile, I let him come all over me.
That's your first problem.
How do I get him to respect my sexual desires? I don't want sex to be transactional, like you make me come once, I make you come once. I'm dying.
So first of all, I wonder, is him eating you out, has that been a thing he hasn't done ever? That's
She
the next
said
question.
this. I feel like
It
was
sounds
recent.
like he did it before,
So, like-
but she didn't say that. She just says he laughs. I asked him to go down on me, and he laughs. Okay, did you guys take the pinky
So
promise,
here's the
and then y'all
thing.
just started fucking? Like, what the fuck?
Here's the thing, like women, like there's certain things I need in order to keep continuing to having sex with people. So if certain things I know I need you're not doing, we're not gonna have sex, right? So she needs to stop. I stop having sex with him and be like, okay, until we're both getting pleasure, I'll just rather do my own thing.
Yeah, you're not listening. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
well,
you
yeah.
don't, so like you think it's funny?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know a nigga who doesn't think it's funny.
Right? Because I can beat you at your game. Don't fuck with me.
I
Like,
just was like, well, if
No.
this is not a priority
To you, then this is
I
not
can
a
pay
priority.
someone. Like, there's options.
There's
here.
options.
Let's talk about it. 'Cause
and
it's
you
gonna happen.
won't like the options.
And also, I know women, and nobody
But
wants.
women-
No woman wants to feel like I'm forcing you to eat my pussy.
Nobody.
That's what we're not gonna do. If I have to have this conversation with you again, I'm not gonna even want you to, and that's the problem.
It's true.
So she needs to stop having sex with him altogether and just be like, okay, until we both mutually.
Yeah, she sounds like she's putting on a show over there.
Order,
Yeah.
yeah, you're getting came all over.
She
It
sounds like
you're-
she's pulling out all the stops.
What the fuck?
Because he
Order the rose.
has no reason to change. Why? Because he can everything he wants. He's enjoying sex, so he has no reason to do any better.
True.
What?
Poor baby girl.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Cease sex immediately.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Cease the sex.
Cease the sex. Well, that concludes the questions that we have for today.
Cool.
I don't know. Do we have a horror we can share? I feel like we should have a horror story to share. Did we have any that?
Oh, they look.
Or so you say you don't have no. Sex with Ashley don't have no horror stories, y'all.
Actually, sex life is real plain. Jane. I don't have. I had October.
Was it good?
Yes, it was good actually. It was with the person I was dating at the time.
Okay, got it. So that I hate when that happens, when you stop dating them and then you can't get the sex anymore. I have one of those. I have a crazy guy that his sex is so good, but he's so crazy that, like, I can't sleep with him. But I sometimes I dream about his sex. It's really fucked up.
No, I lied. It was December. Sorry.
December.
It was somebody different. See, I forgot. That's why you can't count bodies. I keep forgetting people.
The counting bodies. Oh, my God. Who does that?
Yeah, not me, because we're guessing if I'm counting, because I don't know.
Who's counting? Yeah. But men really do want that. They want that purity.
I had someone ask me that before. In all of my 37 years of living, I've
had many men ask me that. Oh, boys.
I had one.
I've had boys ask me that, like in high school or
this
like
is a
college.
grown ass 40-year-old man. One grown man asked me, "What's my body count?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was like.
Did you ask him his?
No, 'cause I don't care. I was like, what? No, I don't know. Why do you want to know? I just want to know. Well,
I hate that.
Pick a number. That's what it is. I don't know.
One.
Right. And then you're like,
is that what you want to hear?
Here?
Okay, shut the fuck up. Eat this pussy.
Right. It's gonna be 3. That makes it better now. Like, what difference it make?
Right. I'm like, you're gonna fuck me either way, so
it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't.
That's my favorite thing. I guess it doesn't matter. Like, nigga.
Long as we get tested and we're both whatever, it doesn't even fucking matter. As long as I didn't fuck your friend, your daddy, your brother, it doesn't matter.
Not your daddy.
Not your
It
daddy.
doesn't matter.
Because that will happen.
Okay. Especially at this age, you can fuck your daddy or you. It's
God. Oh, God. I had a friend whose dad tried to fuck me.
Is he cute?
No.
Oh, okay. Because some dads are cute. I like 50-year-old men.
You do? Is that your age? That's like the...
No, well, my age is 10 years older than me, so 47, 48-ish, but that's almost at 50. So, hey. But there are some 54-year-old people, 52...
Not 54.
52-ish and 4-ish people that I know currently who, might could get it. They're very handsome and, built and stuff.
I like an older man. That's like my thing. I'd like a salt and pepper, kind of middle age, like
established,
have
extra resources.
Very excessive resources. Maybe a Porsche. Yeah, I like
and grown children.
Yeah, grown children that are with their mothers.
You rubbing your hands.
Yes.
Her plotting on her extra old man.
There we go.
I'm like, do you have lotion on your hands? What the fuck are you doing over there?
I'm high. I was really envisioning him too.
I saw it. I was like, wow, she's...
I think that maybe our guys are have to be older men. You think?
I thought, no. I don't know.
Well, then I've dated older guys, and then I'm like, are you too tired? Like, if they start getting sleepy before around 8... I start getting sleepy early, I'm like, this is not going to work.
Listen, I feel like either older men are always already set in their ways and their ideals and blah, blah, blah.
True.
Or they don't give a fuck.
No, older men usually have more, like, I feel like, I think you're right. Older men have more respect for women like us.
I think so, too.
They are seasoned enough to know, bitch, I think
they've just lost their morals at that point. They don't care. They're still single.
They know what matters.
They're like, I'm still single at 60.
They already been one wife, and they like, okay, I don't really need the whole, like, typical wife thing. I already had that. No, she's divorced. They're on wife 2 or 3 by now. Their kids are grown, so they're not looking for typically a mother because their kids are teenagers are grown. So they're kind of like more little.
I think they're more smart, so they recognize real.
Yeah, they've been through that foolishness before already. So if you're 48 or 50 and you're looking at this,
hello there.
Hi, my name's Erica.
I'm Mila. I'm lots of fun.
I can Netflix and chill. Yeah. We must travel though.
I can cook. We can. Yeah. Oh, do you guys follow that? There's a couple online. There's like an like they always dancing, but it's like an older Latin, like gray haired, fine, sexy, cool guy, like cool daddy.
No,
he has like tattoos.
I follow him.
Yeah, I know you do.
Send me.
They can dance. He's like looks spicy. He's wearing cool glasses and nice suits. He looks like he has shit to do. That's another thing. Older men who have money have shit to do. They're not worried about you. Like, yeah, go, bye. Yeah. They're like, well, you want to go do your podcast? Cool. Call me later.
They just want to be fucked when they want to be fucked.
They don't care. They have shit to do. Yeah. If you have a nigga who has shit to do, he ain't thinking about what you're doing.
No, he really not. Not really.
Like, if he knows who you are and he has shit to do, that's the
older one. Because the younger ones actually still do care a little bit because they still trying to like build like this whole family ideal in their head.
Yeah, they haven't learned life yet.
The ones who already done that. I like men who already been married.
There's just certain body types that I can't get past with older men. It's like the hangy, like the skin is a little looser. The titties, like the nipples are facing downward. Like there's just a few. And I don't want. And one day my titties are gonna be touching the floor. I know.
That, though.
Huh?
Lipo.
But I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't want to do that. But so I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Okay, I found a Hori, a quick one. Now you're conflicted on older bodies.
It's not the amount of bodies; it's the age of the body. That's my problem.
We don't believe in ageism.
I'm not, but I'm gonna get old one day, and I'm gonna watch this video and hate myself. But what can I say?
Well, I know my more concern is if they work at that age. You have to be very healthy and active.
Correct.
Because we need that, and that's another thing. You don't know. You can get married early and then...
Well, how long are they going to be healthy and active? Because if you marry them at that age, only 5 more years are like a whole other age. Like it's a whole other, we're in another time. We went from 60 to 60 to 60 to 70, and you're still 37. But... I'm just saying, you gotta pick the golden age. You gotta pick the golden age.
Not too young, not too old.
Probably a good age.
Old, but not too old because
Jay-Z's 50.
How many years?
Jay-Z's 50.
He is.
How many active years can you get out of this
50.
person?
Active years is important.
Yeah, how many active years can I get out of you in my young age?
He's 50. You got about 20 years. So I'm 37. So 20 years, I'll be 57. I'll be almost 60. So
no, I'll give them till 75. They still.
And then what am I supposed to do? And then at that point, I can have other lovers.
Well, black
men. That's the deal.
That's kind of the deal.
Black men have short lives expectancy, so
Don't say that.
They do. They have the highest mortality rate. Black men.
So
they're dying at 70.
So we can't even go older.
Yeah, no, they won't be living. They won't be alive.
It's the most morbid sex show ever. Okay, I have a Hori. This is from our Slack. If you guys haven't joined Patreon, join Patreon so you can find tribe in Slack. You can, meet up with other people in your city. You can leave Horis because we all need a place to tell a friend. And we have just a lot of cool stuff going on over there. A lot of secret chats.
Click the link in our episode description.
Anyway, here's her Hori. My on-again, off-again ex was coming into town for a visit, and I was supposed to pick him up originally, but he got an attitude and told me, don't bother. So I hooked up with this beautiful freckled-faced girl I matched with on Bumble. She was gorgeous, eager, and naked from the waist down when I walked in the door.
Okay.
Right. Naked from the waist down? She's like had a shirt on, but her pussy was out?
Clearly.
Well, god damn, she was ready.
I need to get on Bumble anyway.
Okay.
I just had a whole visual. A nice freckled
faced girl, yeah.
Wow.
I like freckles too. After a glass of red and a brief conversation, we were naked and thoroughly enjoying each other. That fool was blowing my phone up the entire time. We came and I left with the half-hearted promise to return sometime. I called him back when I got in the car, and long Hori short, I had her on my breath while I picked him up. I brought him back to my house and I fucked him too. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, little wine, little freckle face pussy, little dick.
You got the best of both worlds, baby. You got pussy and dick.
Oh, and red wine.
One day, 24 hours. You got to explore all parts of your sexuality.
You win.
Yes, and alone. Like you didn't have to share. That was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, congratulations.
Can you tell our listeners where they can find you, Ashley?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at sexwithashley.
Oh, wait, we didn't do the tarot.
Okay.
Oh, wait, actually, can you share an affirmation?
Oh, yeah. So
did we do anything?
No.
No, we're good. Here's an affirmation that I found. I really feel like it
It
talks to me. So this one says, my pussy is magic and my sex is sacred.
My pussy is magic and my sex is sacred. Oh, I received that. Yeah. I'm going to have to write that down. My pussy is magic and my sex is sacred. That shit is motherfucking true.
It is.
That is true. Today, Ashley pulled the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups looks a little scary when you turn it over. It's like a cloaked man in a dark cloak facing the water. The water's running behind him in like a stream. And there's 5 cups. 3 are knocked over. And now that I look closer, it looks like maybe there's blood on the ground.
If this is something bad, just don't tell me.
No. It's not. It's never.
It's wine. It's wine.
Oh, it's wine. Okay, sorry.
I'd rather not know someone's dying today.
The Five of Cups shows a man in a long black cloak looking down on 3 cups and have been knocked over, symbolic of his disappointments and failures. Behind him stand 2 cups representing new opportunities and potential, but because he is so fixed on his losses, the overturned cups, he misses the opportunities available to him. In the background, a bridge crosses a large flowing river that leads to the security of the castle or home on the opposite side of the riverbank. If only he could move over the turned cups. The bridge is a message to build a bridge and get over it. The Five of Cups often appears in tarot reading when a situation hasn't turned out the way you expected and you are sad, regretful, and disappointed. Instead of moving on with your life, you are choosing to wallow in your self-pity. All you can focus on right now is what went wrong and how you failed. Sweetheart, it's time to get over it. Sure, feel the feels, but set yourself up a time limit for your self-pity and then pull yourself together and move on. The Five of Cups suggests you're stuck in the past and can't let go. Old wounds and bitter memories flood your mind as you think about what happened. You may blame yourself or believe you're a victim of life circumstances. These emotions are holding you back.
Ooh, that's very relatable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, short story. So I was talking to my ex yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. He's getting married.
Well, thank you, Ashley, for coming on. You guys, make sure you check out our episode description. All of Ashley's info is in there. Make sure you guys go follow her. Make sure you follow our Patreon, follow our Twitter. Just follow us everywhere. We be funny. We saying shit. We be talking stuff sometimes. We're smart. Everything is in the episode description. So see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.